Hello and welcome to this week's edition of BS with AJ. This week I'm going to show you how to set up a swarm trap to catch honeybees. We're going to be putting up a swarm trap today to try and catch some bees. We do this every year. We always put up several swarm traps to try and get more and more colonies going because we like honey, of course. The setup we just kind of take the plastic frames that we had left over and we cut them into thirds, and we put it right here in the middle and put some wire screen along the edges so that we put 4 of them inside the box here, so that way it looks like there's more room. The way the bees work, they come in and they kind of measure the whole box to see if it's big enough for the swarm that they have or not. The more space you have, the better. So we do it this way, so that way it gives them something to build off of. They'll start off here, and then once they start building over to the side, they'll have something strong to build it against. It's kind of like putting in your wired wax foundation. It's already going to have the strength in it. All right, we have 4 frames that we put right in the middle, all set up just like the one I showed you. And we just put them right in the center here and put a nail on either side, so that way they don't move around when the wind starts blowing it. Now on this one, what we did was put 2 screws, just regular old wood screws we had laying around. We put 2 of them most of the way in. We left about a 1/2 inch sticking out. And we use this real thick, I want to say it's 14 gauge wire, I believe is what it was. And we just wrapped around there real tight, about 5 or 6 times, something like that, and kind of made a loop right here. And we did it on both sides, and after that we put a rope and tied it right in between there. So we go ahead and put that wire on the sides here, and we go ahead and tie a rope to each side about, I want to say it's probably about 3 or 4 foot long, something like that. And we're going to tie our rope to the tree right here. So that way when it's up on a branch, it just kind of sits kind of like this, so it doesn't spin around as much. We use a 2-inch piece of straw. We cut off the ends of Q-tips, the cotton part, and push them down in here. And we use lemongrass oil for the bait. They sell the bee attractants and stuff like that. They all pretty much smell like lemongrass. The way we've smelled a lot of them, they all smell like lemongrass. So that's just what we use. It's cheaper anyway. So all we do is take a couple drops and we put down inside on each end. Two drops there. 2 drops there. All you're going to do is just stick this inside your hive somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. There's no specific placement. Just throw it in there. And then normally what we like to do is just put a little bit on our finger and just kind of rub it around the entrance here. That'll show them where to come in. That'll attract them to this area, and then they'll come on into it. All right, the best method we found so far for getting the rope over the limb is just taking an old bottle, filling it full of sand, and we tied a piece of paracord over it. And we just kind of fling it up there and hope that it goes over the limb. It normally takes a couple tries.
First try?
Only because we were filming. All right, now that you've got it over the limb on the first try, because you're that good, this guy. Anyway, all right, now that you got it over
he met another and she was gone.
All right, now that you got the string over, basically what we're going to do is just use our good string instead of this crappy old paracord. And we're going to tie it over the edge, tie it to this rope here, and just go ahead and pull it over. Now that you got your string tied on to your other rope that you have here, we're going to go ahead and pull it up into the tree.
Maybe.
All right, now that you got your box up in the air facing the direction you want, just find you a tree or something nearby, a post, something like that. Go ahead and anchor it down to there, so that way it stays up in the air, of course. All right, here's your final product. Now that you got it up in the air, it's just a waiting game. Come out and check it every day and see if you see bees flying in and out of it. Once you do, you normally want to wait about 3 or 4 days to make sure they're good and established. And then you want to come back at night, definitely at night, when all the bees are there, to take it down. All right, it's only been about 3 days, and as you can see, we already have bees flying in and out of here. So we're probably going to give it a couple more days and make sure that the entire swarm is there and good and established. And we're going to come back at night and go ahead and take them out. We'll do a separate film on that to show you all how that's done. Hope you enjoyed this week's project. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any good ideas for other projects that you'd like to see, leave me a comment and I'll get to it. Consider supporting us on Patreon so we can do bigger and better projects. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Come on back, baby. Woo woo.